So my fascination for NDEs continues. A lot of the stories that you hear about NDEs all talk about this feeling of comfort, this feeling of love, seeing the bright white lights or the bright, colored lights, and everything is just a wholesome, great, or comfortable feeling. And there's another side to NDEs that I've just recently stumbled upon, and it's a side that's much darker and much more terrifying. These people have described terrifying experiences in their NDEs, but nevertheless, these NDEs that were terrifying still end up yielding a, how do I put it? It makes them, they still get like a revelation, and they still come out of it with a good direction and a good sense of how they want to change their life, or how they feel like they should be doing things differently. The research on distressing NDEs doesn't just come from YouTube stories or ghost stories. It comes from places like the University of Virginia's Division of Perceptual Studies, with one of the key factors being a Dr. Grayson. He founded the International Association of Near-Death Experiences, or as some people refer to it as IONS. Along with Dr. Grayson is Nancy Evans Bush. She was the former president of IONS, and she herself had a distressing NDE experience. Grayson and Bush classified these distressing NDEs into three distinct groups. The first being called an inverse NDE, which is the most common. Everything that would normally feel comforting about an NDE now feels darker and terrifying. The tunnel, the light, the out-of-body experience, all of it flipped and gave these people the opposite feeling of comfort. There's a documented story about a woman who, during childbirth, experienced one of these. She was lifted from her body and being thrown into this light, and being just coming at it and being engulfed by the light. The person finds themselves in this like absolute nothingness. No up, no down, no left, no right, just nothing. And sometimes they receive what they describe as a very convincing message that they never really existed, that their entire life was imagined. On one account, they describe feeling this feeling as though it was going to go on forever, like there was no end to it. And the third one is what most people picture when they picture like a hellish NDE experience. It's actually the rarest. Demonic figures, black landscapes, fire, screeching sounds of horror. Interestingly, the people that experience this one, they don't experience it as though it's them. They experience it as an observer watching others suffer. Across 21 studies from 1975 to 2005, 17% of all NDEs were distressing NDEs, and some studies show as high as 23%. And surprisingly, researchers have found no reliable way to predict how your NDE will go. It's not about your religion, your personality, or it's not even about how traumatic your death experience was. People who were already distressed, maybe even attempting to take their own lives, showed higher rates of certain types. But even then, it's not a rule. So here's what I found very interesting. When you compare how the people who had good NDE experiences, how it changed their lives going forward. Researchers consistently found that even though they had a distressing NDE experience, it still was ultimately one of the most significant and maybe even beneficial experiences of their lives. Not because it was pleasant, because it forced them to confront things. There was an example of one of the people who had one of these experiences, and their experience is what they call the void. It was like total isolation, like this feeling of non-existence, just like forever. And afterwards, they realized that isolation was something they had been choosing during their life. The NDE experience for them was just a brutal mirror of what they were already choosing to do or choosing to be. So as I've mentioned before, I am not a religious person, or at least practicing like religion. I am a person of faith, or I am a person that believes, but not as in the form of religion. And that's actually part of why this fascinates me so much, because what distressing NDEs seem to prove for me, or help me to see, if they prove anything at all, is that whatever is happening is not wish fulfillment. It's not you getting something that you were wishing for, or desiring, or hoping for. You know, like it's not like your brain constructing this comfortable exit of life. These experiences don't seem to care what you expect, or what you believe, or what you are looking forward to, or what you deserve. And to me, that is probably one of the most strongest arguments that something is actually being observed here. If you or someone you know has had a distressing NDE, IONS has a dedicated group for sharing these stories of specifically distressing NDEs. I'll leave a link for that below. And as always, I'd love to hear what you think. Please leave a comment down below. I appreciate it. And that's all I have for today. So I will see you in the next video.